Well, I know for the coaching staff, the feeling is relief. For the players, I think is elation because they really worked hard. They really have been under duress, like all the teams dealing with, you know, the COVID crisis and roster changes and lineup changes and different players playing different places. So it just felt so bad for them on Wednesday when we were really coming together. We were starting to get some people back, and then we lost 3 players in 12 hours and, one for the year. And it was just demoralizing on Wednesday. And then Thursday, I don't know how they did it, but they came to practice. They had a jump in their step. They seemed to be excited about getting to play despite having more players out of uniform than we had in uniform. I think we had 13 available field players, which is an absolute record since I've been here to have such a short bench. So a lot of girls had to play 90 minutes, and they accepted the challenge and, did whatever it took to get the win. I think a huge step forward. I mean, first of all, we played 3 forwards, so in terms of the numbers game, we gave them a better chance from a higher starting position, so that was good. And I thought Jen Rose was willing to get into the attack. Hannah Anderson came flying forward. I mean, Hannah was at midfield. Next thing you know, she was heading one over from about 7 yards out. So we got both our outside backs into the attack, at least Anderson quite a bit. So when you look at the number of people that were willing to join the front 3, that was probably our best effort of the year in that regard, and that put Iowa State under a lot of pressure. Well, I think, they were in our end, so that's got to go to the back 4, the back 5. Blocking shots is something we talk a lot about, blocking crosses, making sure that if you're in the area, you shouldn't give a shooting lane. So I think the back 6 deserve a lot of credit. I think Cassie Hyatt blocked a lot of shots. The outside backs blocked a lot of crosses. And I heard Maddie all night, so she did a pretty good job, too, organizing the group in front of her. Well, if you have 21 games, it's really fun watching a back line. Sometimes get punished for their mistakes and watch them learn from it. And you can live through those moments. And seeing a back line come together is one of the most rewarding things a team can witness, because if your back line is – our back line's always talented, but if it doesn't play well together, then that's different. So to see them come together is a lot of fun. Briley and Cassie are still learning each other, but you got 2 beasts right there. And Elise Anderson really grew into her role tonight. She got 90 minutes as a freshman. That's really impressive. And we split the left side with Margot and Porter, and they did a great job, both of them, 4th and 5th year seniors. So it's been fun watching them come together. I think there's still some tightening up to do. I think they would be the first to admit that, but definitely a step forward for us tonight. Well, we have to keep getting better. I mean, that's a cliche, but the truth is, again, we are in our 6th game of the year out of 9. So usually we got 11 under our belt before we even step into the Big 12, so you really find out who you are before you even start conference play. In this case, we're finding out who we are as each week comes upon us. And sometimes we find out who we're not, right, with players that have to be quarantined or players that have to sit out. It's just crazy as far as roster availability goes. But we're going to have to be better defensively, especially in midfield, because I think Oklahoma State's got one of the best threesomes in the league. 3 kids that can just hurt you at any time, and very organized. They play a unique system. So it'll take a more tactical effort from us next week than it took today. Today's motto was whatever it takes. Next week is going to have to be whatever it takes plus, because you can't just out-hustle Oklahoma State. That doesn't happen with them. We're going to have to be smarter and put together a good game plan. It's such an interesting dynamic, because on most years, who your seniors are, they're graduating, they're not coming back. And in this year, it's like, well, we think they're not coming back because they've got other opportunities, but they still could come back. I mean, they've got eligibility. So these 2, Macy and Amanda, have been amazing. I mean, Macy's been committed here since, I think, 10th grade, and we've watched her completely grow up. And to become a full-time starter her senior year is such a reward for all her hard work. And in Amanda's case, she really rescued us last year. We needed an outside back. She came from Arizona. She was their leading scorer, but agreed to play left back for us, which is a huge sacrifice and very unselfish from Amanda. So we're so thankful. Last year's season, she was a massive part of it. These are true Red Raiders. And we're so proud of them. They're going to be incredible in whatever they do after they leave here. And I think that tonight was a great tribute to them. I don't know what our record is. Jeremy can tell you, but I think it's pretty darn good on senior night.
Well, I just came in the last 10 minutes, and it was barely any time, but I knew I wanted to make a difference. And I saw a cross coming in, and before I came in, I saw that many crosses were coming in, but no one was getting on the end of them. So I was like, I need to do this. It's senior night. I want to make a difference, and I just got on the end of it and took it and finished it with my left foot. It didn't really affect anyone, I don't think. And the cold front just came today. We've been practicing in warm weather the whole week, and we're ready with long sleeves if we needed them. Oh yes, coming in as a freshman and senior night, it's just so special for them. This is like their night. This is like so important, and just as a freshman, I wanted to make it feel special for them. I wanted to get a win, and I knew we needed to turn this season like back around so we can get a win for once, and we did. So that was great. Yeah, she's such a big role in our offense, and during practices, she's basically like a mentor to all of us, and she's really helped me as a freshman. Like, I've improved so much just by being here in the couple months that I have been, and she guides us and shows us ways that like we can finish goals in different things, keeping composure and just finishing them when it's a big time to score.